Do you have what it takes to be a top model? Let's find out. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Brett Maverick, and I spent about 4 years as a male model until I made my transition to YouTube when I got too fat and ugly to be a model anymore. Kidding, kind of. But anyways, that gave me a perspective and knowledge on what it takes to really be a model and exactly what agents look for when they're signing a model. And now, luckily, I'm in a position to where I get to share that with you guys, because I know a lot of you guys have aspirations of being a model. So let's talk about it. What does it take and how can you achieve some of these things? Without further ado, let's get right into it. So many of you probably don't know that there's actually two types of models. There's commercial models and fashion models. Commercial models, there's a lot more leniency here. You could have a lot more basic looking attributes. You could look like a normal Joe, or you could look like a highly attractive Chad, because this is where you are in catalogs. You might be in a Lowe's or Sears commercial and you're looking for broad appeal, right? So when it comes to becoming a commercial model, it's an ever growing field. It used to be you had to be somewhat attractive, but now these brands are adopting and adapting to where they want all sorts of different types of people to promote products because of this thing called relatability. If you walk into a Target and you see a girl that's kind of overweight wearing some of the Target apparel, and maybe you're kind of overweight, you might meander over there and buy some of their overpriced shit, right? But I know you guys didn't click on this video for that. You want to know about high fashion, Chico Lachowski's, the Jordan Barrett's, the Sean O'Price, right? Why were they chosen to be the top male models? So the first thing, no questions asked, this is unavoidable. You have to be tall, but not too tall. To be a high fashion model, you have to be at least 6 foot tall and no taller than 6'4". And 6'4" is even pushing it a little bit. This is where you get into that lanky kind of gangly look, right? The sweet spot is 6'2". Okay, so every high fashion model is at least 6'2" because it looks good on the runway. You got this lean, slender look, and high fashion designers know that high fashion models are around 6'2", so they design clothes based on that premise. Maybe someday in 100 years, it'll be cool to be 5'6", but that's not a reality right now, and it won't be for a long time. So that's number one, you gotta be tall. If you're not tall, I'm sorry, not much you can do about it. You can try some of this snake oil shit, or you can try your stretches, but probably won't work. Number two, you have to be lean. This is actually why at least one of the main reasons I quit modeling, because I like to eat, baby. I like to go out and pick up a burger, crush a couple chicken sandwiches, right? I don't give a fuck. I love food. And every time I would go and do a check-in at my agency back in the day, they would say, hey, you might want to, lean out a little bit. Not that I was fat, but looking a little smooth. To be a high fashion model, you got to see every detail. I got more of this kind of frat boy that works out all the time body, I would guess you could say. You really have to be very lean to pull off the high fashion look. And that's something most people, including myself, just don't really have the desire to do or the discipline. So if you really want to be a high model and you have some of these other features, you also got to commit to being under 10% body fat. Good luck with that. 3, you got to have a full head of hair. I know, sorry to my receding bros out there, but it's just not likely you're gonna get picked up to be a high fashion model if you got a receding hairline or that cul-de-sac thing going on. It is what it is. You need to have full hair because you need to give the designers and the casting directors something to work with, to play around with it. Even if they just want you to go with the buzz cut look, a buzz cut doesn't really look great if you got big old recessions or a bald patch on the crown of your head, right? So you gotta have a thick head of hair. Now, if that's not you, or you find yourself thinning out a little bit, I got you, don't worry, because when I had the idea to make this video, I reached out to one of my favorite brands over at Keeps, and luckily they agreed to sponsor this video. So shout out to Keeps offers professional care for hair loss from the comfort of your own home. No need to ever visit a doctor's office for hair loss again. You just complete an online consultation to be matched with a provider who will tailor a treatment for whatever your issue is, and then your treatment will be delivered to you in a discreet box like so every 3, 6, or 12 months, whatever you decide necessary. Plus, you can adjust, pause, or cancel at any given time. Whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, you already see it happening, you're like, whoa, let's stop that in its tracks, or you want thicker, healthier hair, Keeps has you covered. Male pattern baldness affects 2 out of 3 guys before the age of 35. Unluckily, I was one of those guys, and I had to resort to a hair transplant, but Keeps offers both the 2 FDA-approved hair loss treatments as well as a 2-in-1 combination, and if I would have started using this way long time ago, I probably would never have even had to resort to a hair transplant. So don't be like me. Take care of it while you can and stop it in its tracks. But not only that, Keeps also offers a thickening shampoo and conditioner as well as a hair thickening pomade. So these work really well. I've been playing around with these a lot. And they have ingredients that help your hair just be healthier in general, such as science-based ingredients like biotin, caffeine, green tea, and saw palmetto. They have over 5,000 5-star reviews, and over the past 6 years, Keeps has helped treat over 1 million people with their hair loss. So you can be one of those people. And I got a deal, so you know what that means. You guys get a deal too. Go to keeps.com/Brett. That's KEEPS.com/BRETT for a special offer. Make sure you take advantage of it because I don't know how long this deal is going to be available. All right, now back to the video. The next thing that's highly important to have if you want to be a high fashion top model is sharp facial features. Yes, it's true. Some people are genetically gifted. Some of us have to work a little bit harder to achieve these things, but it is possible for most people. I'm talking a prominent brow ridge. I'm talking a sharp jawline, a prominent chin, and probably the most important one of all is prominent cheekbones. Yes, cheekbones are probably the most important because they just add structure, they add width to the mid-face. One of the things that helps you achieve that if you're not genetically gifted with strong, prominent cheekbones is losing face fat. This can help your cheekbones pop a little bit. Not only that, it also helps your jawline and just your face in general. If you improve your diet, you're losing fat. It's a collective thing and your face just slims down and looks more sharp and defined in general. While on the topic of facial definition, also a prominent projection of your mandible, your jaw. If your jaw comes out and strong and prominent, that's definitely something that is helpful, something I lack in a little bit. I had to mew for years to even get into semblance of a projected jaw. How am I looking? If you have a recessed jaw, then it's gonna be tough for you, but there's things you can do. Start mewing immediately. Start chewing tough gums to help stimulate growth of this masseter muscle here. Give yourself that Superman jawline that you always wanted. But the biggest thing overall is just losing body fat, drinking lots of water to reduce retention. Number 5 is facial harmony. Everybody hubbubs about symmetry this, symmetry that. You have to have a nice symmetrical look, but I think symmetry is far overrated. Have you seen people with that inverted filter on? It looks crazy when it's perfectly symmetrical. What you really want to achieve is facial harmony, and some people just obviously have it. You know, the top models, that guy David Gandy, Chico Lachowski, obviously. These guys, it's unexplainable. It's a bit arbitrary, but the facial features complement each other. Even though David Gandy has a big nose, he excels in other areas, his eyebrows and his beautiful blue eyes. It just completes each other, right? It comes full circle. It's like a Picasso. So I wish I had more advice for you on this, but this really is something that is genetically driven. And last but not least is unique features. You see high fashion models, not every single one of them looks like a Grecian god. Some of them look kind of peculiar. A lot of people from strange corners of the earth who don't look like the typical soap opera actor or actress or whatever. Here's some examples. Look at the eyes. Here's another example. Look at the cheeks. One more. Incredible, right? Some models have eyes that look way too big for their face, but for some reason, It just works. Or maybe they're farther apart than normal. It just works. Or maybe the nose is slightly too slim, but yet their lips are so full that it completes each other, right? They make up for each other's lackingness. I don't know. This is something that's also very arbitrary, but it's something that is definitely noticeable and that agents pick up on. So that is number 6. And I know this list is mostly arbitrary stuff, but you can definitely put in the effort to make some improvements and give yourself an edge, start creeping into that model-esque look. Losing facial fat is a huge one. Standing up straight, growing your hair out and adding volume to it so you can play around with it and create cool model-esque wispy hair. You could also wear clothes that male models would wear. Loose button downs, blazers, shit like that. There's a lot you can do. Do not dwell on your lacking in genetics. There's areas that I lack in too. I don't have super prominent cheekbones, but luckily I got the jaw going for me. So just be aware of your strengths, emphasize those, change what you can and accept what you can't, and just live your life, be happy, because everybody is special in their own way. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, subscribe, and until next time, peace.